What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video where we will talk about Liverpool targeting Paulo Dybala, the great Juventus striker, because he has some problems with his contract at Juventus. So let me know in the comments below, would you welcome Dybala at Liverpool? Could he be that really great striker that Liverpool needs to bolster their ranks for next season's title challenge? But first we have to start this video with tragic, unbelievably sad news. Alisson, the Liverpool goalkeeper's father, has suffered a tragic death. It was an accident where he went swimming nearby his holiday home in Brazil, and he sadly passed away. He died in a drowning accident, and the news was released on Internacional, the Brazilian club's official Twitter account. Jose Becker was very influential in Alisson's whole career. He also has another son who is also a professional footballer, and Alisson's the father was only 57 years old. So my thoughts and prayers go out to Alisson and his whole family and everybody who was connected with him. And also Alisson, both of his parents were actually goalkeepers. I heard that his mother was also a goalkeeper playing in a handball team, I think, and his father wasn't playing professionally, but he also was a goalkeeper. Alisson previously said on Liverpool's official website, "I have a family of goalkeepers. My father played for his work team, my mother played handball in school, and my grandfather played in amateur football as well. And after that, all this, my brother became a footballer, and then I started to like it as well." And Alisson is a family man, so this must have been absolutely devastating for him, and he should take all the time he needs away from football to recover from this. So I wouldn't pressure him into starting against Sheffield United for Liverpool, only if that's what he wants, because his mental health is the most important thing right now. And now let's share some good news with you guys. Diogo Jota is back in training. Liverpool released some training pictures where Diogo Jota was in full team training alongside James Milner, and also Virgil van Dijk was training with the team, but he's doing separate individual work. But it's just good to have Virgil van Dijk back. And Liverpool are playing Sheffield United, probably the worst team in the whole Premier League, and we just absolutely have to win this game. I can't even imagine the fallout if Liverpool don't win against Sheffield United. Let's just go out, win that game, and look forward. That's all that Liverpool can do. And now let's talk about Paulo Dybala, because his contract is up in the summer of 2022, so just 1 year from now. And Dybala has been linked with a move to Liverpool, because if Juventus wants to get any money for Dybala, then they have to sell him this summer, otherwise they are risk losing him for absolutely nothing. And the Juventus director Fabio Paratici gave an update about Dybala's contract situation. Paulo Dybala still has a few problems. It's like he's on a swing. Some days he's better and others he's worse. He seemed okay last week and then he felt some pain again. We have spoken about his contract, and we have been speaking, and we'll continue to speak in the next few days and months. But that doesn't look like, and that doesn't sound like Dybala is going to sign a new contract. Maybe he wants a new challenge, maybe he wants to try himself out in a new league, and he is just 27 years old, so he is like 3 years younger than Roberto Firmino. And I think Liverpool need another striker, because Firmino is just not doing the business at the moment, and Dybala would be absolutely brilliant. And also he has won everything with Juventus there is to win apart from the Champions League, so he might want to have a new challenge in a new country. So Dybala was a 20 goal a season striker before Juventus signed Ronaldo, and then he has been a bit part player who sometimes played, sometimes he was on the bench. And I think Dybala wants to be the star of the show. He wants to be the main man at the club, and at Liverpool he could be the number 9, he could be the main man. And even though he has been on the bench many times, last season he scored 17 goals. In his first season for Juventus he scored 23 goals, in his second 19, and in his third 26 goals. And overall he already has 98 goals in 244 games for Juventus, which is a terrific record. And he also is an Argentina international. And I think Dybala would be the perfect signing for Liverpool. And he would come at a pretty expensive price, but not as expensive as in a normal market because of the pandemic, and also because Dybala has just 1 year left on his contract. Liverpool could get him for a reasonable price, and he earns 200,000 pounds a week, something like that, according to some sources. And I don't have anything against Bobby Firmino. I think Liverpool should keep Firmino, but we need a striker like Dybala who can come in and start scoring goals, because right now we are not getting any goals from our strikers. I really have high hopes of Diogo Jota coming in and scoring goals again, but we can't expect just Jota to score enough goals for Liverpool. Apart from Salah, nobody else is scoring right now in this Liverpool team. So we need to look at the striker situation. And Jamie Carragher even said in his analysis that Liverpool need to sign a striker either to complement Firmino or to replace him. And Dybala could actually play as a number 9 and Firmino could play behind him. Dybala is a fantastically talented player. He has all the attributes required to play for Liverpool. He would suit a high pressing system. He is very skillful. He can dribble, he can go past people, and he has a great finishing technique as well. So the clock is ticking. If Dybala and Juventus cannot agree a contract extension, then it's almost 100% that Juventus will look to sell Paulo Dybala. And we, as Liverpool, we can't just think the only options that we have is signing Haaland or Mbappe. Both of them would cost well over 100 million pounds to sign, and Dybala could be a cheaper but almost as good alternative. And he is also a very experienced player. He's 27 years old, so he is in the peak of his career, and he could play for Liverpool for the next 3 or 4 years, banging in 20 goals a season. I fully have faith in Dybala. If Liverpool play him regularly, he can be a 20 goal a season striker. Looking at his numbers at Juventus, when he was playing regularly, he scored 20 goals easily every season. There are some cons, of course. Dybala's injury record is not the greatest. He's actually injured right now. He has been missing 12 games so far this season, and Dybala picks up at least one injury per season, maybe even more. And it does sound like a strange idea to sign Dybala in this time that Liverpool are in the middle of the injury crisis, but it's a risk. That's something that Liverpool will surely assess. And Dybala is a very versatile player. He can play as a centre forward, he can play as an attacking midfielder, he can play out wide as well. He's capable of thriving in all kinds of roles, and that's a rare talent. And it also happens to be exactly what Liverpool need after Firmino's recent struggles in front of goal. Probably Dybala won't press as well as Firmino in his prime, but Liverpool will need to accept that any Firmino replacement costs you something. Firmino is too unique to replace without a cost, but where Dybala would lack the energy and pressing, he would add goals, assists and a set piece threat, because he can score free kicks as well. As Liverpool struggle for creativity and goals from their false 9, I think Dybala could be the gamble that Liverpool need right now. He would be available for under his value given the contract, and he could rejuvenate the Liverpool attack. Something that went wrong this season is that both Firmino and Mane, their goals have dried up recently, and Liverpool need to work out something. Of course, the injuries don't help, but still, they should be scoring more of their chances that they are doing right now. And French news outlet Le Parisien is reporting that Paris Saint-Germain are going to try and sign Jorginho Wijnaldum when he becomes a free agent. Barcelona are his favorite destination, but we don't know what Ronald Koeman's future is at Barcelona because of the presidential elections. And according to the French outlet, Paris Saint-Germain are eyeing up a deal for Wijnaldum. Of course, his contract expires in the summer, so if he doesn't sign an extension, he can go to any club that he wishes, really, and who would pay him a very, very good, handsome salary. If I had to choose, I would still prefer Wijnaldum to go to Barcelona. I think he would be better suited to play at Barcelona, but of course PSG are very strong as well, and they are contenders for the Champions League as well, and I'm sure that living in either Paris or Barcelona would suit Wijnaldum's lifestyle as well. And Jurgen Klopp gave an interesting interview amid the recent struggles at Liverpool. It helps to convince people that the things you are doing are still right. It is not too difficult to convince the team of that, but to convince others is a little bit more difficult, because when you don't have the results, people ask for big changes here and big changes there. And Jurgen Klopp knows that building back up the confidence and also this mentality that Liverpool are just relentlessly winning games is going to take time. He said it didn't happen overnight in the first place, and it will not happen overnight now. Creating mentalities is a constant thing you have to do. This is not the first time in my life or in the players' lives that we haven't had exactly the results we want. We have to work, we have to build things again, and one of the things we have to build again is that kind of mentality, to be unbeatable. It doesn't help if I tell you now that from now on we will be unbeatable again or whatever. It's just about working on it. In every game we want to be the last team the other team wants to play against. That's what we were, and it's what we still are in moments, but not enough moments, to be honest, right now. This season, when I get a message from the medical department, I always know there will be a center half involved. It's just our luck nowadays. It has been like this for the whole season, and it will probably be like this until the end of the season. One thing happens and it leads to the next problem. It's incredible. That hasn't helped us to play the best season we can play, and the best season we have to play in order to be close to the spots where you can be champions. When we are close to 100%, we are a real threat to everybody, but for different reasons we haven't been at 100% often enough. We don't take it as an excuse, we just understand it. It will not always be like this, but this season we have to sort it. And he also spoke about Thiago Alcantara and how he needs more time to adapt to the Premier League and to Liverpool's playing style. He came in late, which is just the nature of some transfers, and then he got COVID, and then he got injured, and he's still adapting to a new team, a new league, a new environment, and a team which was not exactly flying with no problems at all. We have had to rebuild the team pretty much every 3 days because of changing the last line at the centre backs, changing a lot of things. So that's just really unlucky for Thiago. But he has played some exceptional games, and he had some exceptional moments on the pitch, and he's so respected in the squad. It's just the public perception, oh, Thiago is in and we don't perform well anymore. These kind of things are just bollocks, let me say it like that. They are just not right. These are Jurgen Klopp's words. Everybody needs time to adapt. Bayern played a different style in a different league, and they were much more dominant in the Bundesliga than any team can be in the Premier League. So that's all different, but thank God we are all smart enough to judge the situation correctly here. Thiago can play better football, yes, of course, but we all can play better football, no doubt about it. The situation is not cool, but it's not as bad as it looks when you talk to the media. It's two words. It's the view from the outside and the view from inside. Both are completely fine, but I cannot be influenced too much by the view from outside. It's not something that I'm really interested in, because I know, and I have always known, that I give 100%. It's probably not the best 100% in the world, but it's my 100%, and I cannot give more. I did it when we won all the games, and I do it now. It's not like in good times we close our eyes and say, come on, let's keep going and do all this again and again and again. We are always changing things, but always while using our principles, and that's the situation we are in now. We had the results we had, and now we go for better results in the next game. I still love my job, and I love my players. Being a champion and then not being champions again the year afterwards is probably the best problem you can have, to be honest. All the other teams want to have that problem. This has been the most challenging time in parts of my life, for sure, but not on the football side. I was in much worse situations in my life as a player and a coach in Germany, fighting to stay in the league. Those are proper problems. I think I went through all the different stages of problems in those times. I had pretty much all of them. So the problem I have now at Liverpool is actually the best one I could have. And yes, perspective is very important. Liverpool were the best Premier League team for a period of like 36 games, where we won like 35 and drawn 1. We had a run of 36 games where we won pretty much every single game, and that is the best run in English top flight history in 123 years. Nobody can take away that from Jurgen Klopp, from the players, from Liverpool Football Club, from the fans as well. And this talk of bad champions is just absolutely ridiculous, because Liverpool actually was the best champion last season, because we won the league with 7 games to go, more than anybody else previously. And I think Jurgen Klopp deserves a huge credit for that. And Jurgen Klopp also said, a lot of the time we have cameras in training and stuff like this, and when people see us smiling during the week, they think, what are they smiling about? But for me, it's not a problem to spread positivity, because I'm really happy being here. I love my job, I love my players, I love the club, I am in the right place here, and we try really hard to change things around in the short term and in the long term as well. Losing a game, 2, 3, 4 games, it's a problem, but it's only a real problem if you don't learn from it. We constantly try to learn from our losses, and hopefully we will use that against Sheffield United, and 100% we will use it next season. It's just an experience. A lot of things in life are experiences, and experiences are always important, because if you are smart enough, you use them for the better. That is what we will do. And that's a brilliant interview to cap off this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. I fully support Jurgen Klopp and the players. Let's win against Sheffield United and get back on track. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later. Goodbye.